how would you discuss that challenge? A customer coming back to you and saying, "Hey, look, our access control system has a mustering feature built into it. We're just going to use that. Maybe it's free or very low cost, and I don't believe we need
Yeah.
what AllClear provides." How would you respond to that?
Well, I think there are certain market segments where the others are fine.
Mhm.
They're not as hypercritical as our industry is. And there are many of them. Um, I think that the one thing you didn't mention that's a big player as well is that the software is pretty much already there. Like they pretty much
Mhm.
have what they need to do mustering, and so it's the easiest, path of least resistance. And I get it. I mean, I understand that we're asking them to do something that's a little bit more effort, but um, from our perspective, there are some real disqualifiers for our specific industry
Mhm.
that make being penny wise today is pound foolish for tomorrow. And
Mhm.
that
Sure.
we talk about it being the problem. If you lose somebody, the consequences are dramatic.
Yeah. Sure.
Morale, careers. We've seen plants being sold because
Wow.
they've failed
Mhm.
at that. So the stakes are really really high, and pack systems are really pretty much every pack system we interact with is great at being a security
Mhm.
solution. They're fantastic platforms, but what makes them great makes them vulnerable in a mustering setting. So,
Mhm.
one of the good examples is that you need resiliency and fault tolerance at a gate. When going through a portal, you don't want to
Mhm.
doing shift change for the network to go out and
Sure.
you've got people waiting at the gate. So a lot of activity happens at the edge, and
Mhm.
that means that if that happens during a mustering situation, that information, if you're using that same solution to count people, can be trapped, and it gives the counters lag. It doesn't give them what they need.
Mhm.
And sometimes things that make sense in the context of security don't make sense in the mustering context. So, give you an example. So, people like there's a few examples that I think of. Just this is just from the literature from certain
Mhm.
PACS mustering solutions. If
Mhm.
the mustering module is offline, as I said before, a badge holder could get a positive response and think that they
Mhm.
accounted for themselves. So they think they did their job, but they didn't.